Konnichiwa minasan. Hey friends, how are you? Friends, there has always been a lot of buzz around JLPT among the learners of Japanese, isn't it? In today's world of digital connect, there are ample sources of free information floating all over the internet, which is good in one sense, but at the same time is equally risky. Risky in the sense of falling easy prey to unsystematic and unauthentic information that may lead to the learner onto a wrong and erroneous track. Moreover, the information is so much scattered everywhere and so much overwhelming that often a JLPT aspirant gets confused about what to study and what not to study. Friends, in order to help JLPT seekers out, this Saral Japani YouTube channel has planned to launch a playlist altogether which will serve as a one-stop shop for everything that is needed to pass JLPT N5 test. So this is in addition to the main playlist Japanese learning for beginners, and videos in this new playlist, that is JLPT N5 Prep Guide, will be posted in a very systematic order to prepare you for the JLPT N5 test and guide you through the process without confusing you. Although it will take some time to build the complete playlist, which we will be doing over the period of the next few months, there is always a starting point, isn't it? And then we keep moving from that point forward and forward from there. That is better late than never. Hence, we are here, friends, with this first video of this series, JLPT N5 Prep Guide. The first video, which is titled as N5 Test Intro. In this episode, we shall discuss what JLPT is all about, its different advantages, its various levels, the required competence to pass JLPT N5, when this JLPT N5 is held during the year, the test structure, and the official preparation books available. So let's begin. The first video of this series, JLPT N5 Prep Guide. The topic for today is N5 Test Intro. What is JLPT? The Japanese Language Proficiency Test, or JLPT in short, has been offered by the Japan Foundation and Japan Educational Exchanges and Services, which was formerly called Association of International Education, Japan, since 1984, as a reliable means of evaluating and certifying the Japanese proficiency of non-native speakers. The use of JLPT results has expanded from skill measurement to include employment screening and evaluation for promotions and pay raises, as well as use as a form of qualification. So from this you can understand how important JLPT is if someone aspires to be in Japan for education or profession. JLPT, in other words, it assesses your Japanese skill set. Objective of JLPT. What's the objective? What's the purpose of JLPT? The JLPT will be held worldwide to evaluate and certify proficiency in Japanese of non-native speakers. This is the definition of the objective mentioned in the JLPT official website, jlpt.jp. Who are the organizers of JLPT? The Japan Foundation and Japan Educational Exchanges and Services have jointly conducted the test, JLPT. Outside Japan, the Japan Foundation administers the test in cooperation with local institutions. In Taiwan, the Japan Foundation and Japan-Taiwan Exchange Association jointly administer the test. Inside Japan, the Japan Educational Exchanges and Services administers this test. Now, the most important topic: what are the advantages of JLPT? Why one should give JLPT test? Why one should get certified by JLPT? The first and the foremost reason is earn points for preferential treatment for immigration to Japan. Those who pass JLPT N1 receive 15 points. Those who pass N2 receive 10 points under the government's point-based preferential immigration treatment system for highly skilled professional foreign professionals. Individuals with a total of 70 points or higher receive preferential treatment at immigration. So this means, friends, if you are N2 or N1 passed, then you get advantage in getting citizenship or permanent residentship in Japan. And also you are treated as a skilled foreign professional and you get special treatment in your job. So although this is N2 and N1 and we are talking about N5, but you will reach N2 and N1 only when you start from N5. The other advantage is one of the requirements. JLPT is one of the requirements to take Japan's national exams for medical practitioners. A JLPT N1 certificate is required for medical practitioners licensed overseas who want to take Japan's national exams for medical practitioners and other professions. Also needed for dentist, nurse, pharmacist, public health nurse, midwife, radiology technologist, dental hygienist, dental technician, clinical lab technician, physical therapist, occupational therapist, orthoptist, clinical engineer, prosthetist, emergency medical technician, speech therapist, veterinarian, veterinary nurses for companion animals, and so on. So this means if you want to pursue a medical profession in Japan, then JLPT N1 is required. Another advantage of JLPT is preferred in any job in the IT telecom sector, engineering sector, and so on. Those who pass JLPT N4 or up to N3 are always preferred over non-JLPT applicant for lucrative private company jobs in engineering, computer software, IT, telecommunications, and so on. So if you are applying for a job from outside of Japan, then you will be asked whether you have Japanese proficiency or not. And many companies conduct interviews in Japanese as well. So in that case, if you know Japanese, then you always get advantage of the situation. And last but not the least, self-satisfaction and prestige. Yes, it's indeed a matter of prestige and self-satisfaction to get JLPT certified. It boosts the confidence in non-native Japanese speakers to keep learning the language and achieve higher proficiency. So if your job doesn't demand JLPT, then you can live without JLPT as well, friends. There is no hard and fast rule to pass JLPT in order to learn Japanese. No, you can still learn Japanese without giving JLPT test. But if you give this test and get certified, that will give you a lot of self satisfaction and it will boost your confidence that you can learn Japanese and you keep learning more and more and reach towards perfection. So friends, go for it. That is, go for JLPT. It's real fun. Next, levels of JLPT. So you are aware that there are 5 levels starting from N5 up to N1. N1, it starts from N5, then N4, then N3, N2, N1. The easiest level is N5 at the right, and the most difficult level is N1, which is the highest level of JLPT and is equivalent to a native speaker. The proficiency that is needed to pass N1 is almost a native speaker. So N1, both N1 and N2 are are difficult levels, and for a foreigner it is extremely difficult to pass N2 and N1, but there is nothing which is impossible to do if you do hard work and if you study regularly and thoroughly. So, but in this series, we are more concerned about N5, and for N5, it's not that difficult. But again, if you don't study, you cannot pass. It is as simple as that. There is no shortcut to success of even N5. N4 and N5 measure the level of understanding of basic Japanese learned in class. N1 and N2 measure the level of understanding of Japanese used in a broad range of scenes in actual everyday life. So this is the extremes of JLPT, and there is the intermediate step, which is N3, which is nothing but a bridging level between N1, N2 and N4, N5. So this gives an overall idea about the 5 levels of JLPT and how easy and how difficult they are. Linguistic competence for JLPT N5. So as you might be aware, or you may not be, that there are two broad categories of testing in JLPT, which are reading and listening. There is no writing test. It's just reading and listening. And you need certain level of competence in Japanese to pass JLPT N5. So let's see what are these linguistic competence for JLPT N5 as mentioned in the official website of JLPT, which is again jlpt.jp. In reading, one is able to read and understand typical expressions and sentences written in hiragana, katakana, and basic kanji. That means you need the basic knowledge, understanding of hiragana, katakana, and kanji, and you should be able to express your expressions and various conversations and sentences using these three scripts, and you should be able to read and you should be able to understand them. In the listening section, one is able to listen and comprehend conversations about topics regularly encountered in daily life and classroom situations, and is able to pick up necessary information from short conversations spoken slowly. So listening appears to be the most difficult section among JLPT seekers, and they are they have a panic for this listening section. But if you study properly, then listening is also not that tough because the conversations are very short conversations and they are not spoken at a very fast speed. They are spoken slowly for N5, and you must practice these listening exercises to become familiar and to master on this aspect of this test, that is listening. And topics which are very common in daily life, for example, discussion between two students, discussion between a student and a teacher, conversation taking place at a shop, conversation taking place at a restaurant. So this kind of examples, these are mostly encountered in this section. Next is, when is JLPT held? JLPT is held twice a year typically for all the 5 levels. The first test is usually held in early July, for which registration begins in early February. The second test is held usually in early December, for which the registration begins in early July. You can find more information about the test dates and registration of a particular year, of the current year, I would say, at this website, http://info.jees-jlpt.jp/?lang equals English. So if you visit this URL, you will find all information about JLPT tests and how to register. Then the JLPT N5 test structure. The test duration for N5 is 90 minutes, that is 1.5 hours. There are 3 sections in the test. The first section is a 20-minute section, which is language knowledge, which tests the vocabulary of the applicant. And in section 2, which is the longest one of 40 minutes duration, it is basically the grammar and it tests your language knowledge through reading. In the third section, which is the 30-minute section, in which the exam seeker panics the most, it's the listening section. And in this way, these 3 sections together constitute the 90-minute JLPT N5 test. Friends, these are the 3 official books released by JLPT organizers, which you can purchase. This is not mandatory, but if you want, you can purchase these three books. The first one is Japanese Language Proficiency Test Official Practice Workbook N5. The price is 700 yen, which is not a very large amount. It is just, if I'm not wrong, it's just $4 or $4.50. Then you have JLPT Official Practice Workbook Volume 2 for N5. It is 770 yen price. So these two are basically the two volumes of the same workbook. And we have a third book, which is New Japanese Language Proficiency Test Guidebook, an executive summary and sample questions for N5 and N4. So this is a very good book whose price is approximately 800 yen. So you can opt for these books if you want. As I said, it's not mandatory, but since these are official preparation books, so any JLPT N5 seeker should get hold of these books for better preparation. The website for purchasing these books online is this: https://www.jlpt.jp/e/reference/books.html. So friends, that's all for today. Hope this video has been informational, and this is the stepping stone in this journey for JLPT N5 seekers. And this first video of this playlist, I am sure this has set the base of this uh, playlist. And in the next video, we shall discuss about the composition of the JLPT N5 test, the topics that are asked, and the detailed syllabus. We will be discussing the topics that are mentioned in the official website in detail. So till then, I take leave from you. Thanks for watching this video, and do subscribe this channel if you have not done it yet. Till we meet again, arigato gozaimasu, matai masho.